Well, I'm here with Scott Durow. Scott, they're literally breaking down build right now as we're sitting here on this couch.
I think they're going to carry us off on the couch.
That's the hope. So if we just sort of get picked up and that's the end of the interview and that'll be it. So Scott, it's fun being at Build because there's so much code that's being shown. And that's really interesting, coming to a developer conference, seeing the code. But as a Microsoft MVP for Copilot Studio, it was neat seeing how many sessions are here this week that didn't show code. And so just curious, why is Copilot Studio here at Build this year?
Yeah, that's a great question. Actually, the keynotes, I loved seeing the keynotes because in previous builds, it's been very much like we show a load of code, all the developer stuff, because it is a developer conference, right? And so then it's been like, and now we're going to go and show Power Platform, and then it's a separate story. But this time, it was a consistent story. It was like the whole piece that joined up Azure AI Foundry, building agents, and then Copilot Studio building agents. It was so nice to see like that transition.
Yeah, between the two of them, because to your point, the capabilities that, whether it's MCP, the new protocol that came out, right, just a few months ago, right? This is relatively new. And yes, developers can use it, but in Copilot Studio, we saw that announced as well, where they have that capability as well.
Yeah, exactly. So you can just go into Copilot Studio and you can just add in your MCP servers and start to talk over those servers and interact with them and create agents, but also was announced agent to agent as well. So not only having A2A support inside Foundry, but also just being able to add in an agent to Copilot Studio. So suddenly you've got all of these agents talking to each other.
You don't have to be the super deep developer to be able to do this stuff. You're able to harness these capabilities that are coming out now and today. You don't have to wait 6 months or a year to get that.
Well, that's absolutely right, Seth. I mean, that I think is the key about why Copilot Studio is now becoming so much of a big thing, because it's two sides of the same coin. Now we have AI Foundry integration with Copilot Studio. Copilot Studio can talk to AI Foundry. We've now also announced the bring your own model. So you can now have a model that's deployed in Foundry, and then you can bring that inside Copilot Studio. And so it's no surprise that wanting to build agents, making it as easy as possible to build agents, the ethos of low code that we've been kind of living and breathing for so long now, it's no surprise that that same ethos applies to building agents. And so, we have this seamless integration between the two.
Yeah, and it's a blast because business analysts, people that are living sort of the business, where the business value is delivered, is able to harness these capabilities. And so, again, one of the things I would highly recommend is be trained on it, understand what an MCP server is, the security concerns around that. There's a lot of discussion around, hey, just because you can doesn't mean you should. And so there's a whole conversation to be had around that. But if you can train your people and then you roll out and validate at the organization level, and then you're empowering your people, it really offloads a lot of the burden. And so people are able to do it for themselves. And that's what people, this generation of users and skilled workers want to do. They want to do it themselves. They understand the business value. They understand what they're trying to accomplish. And so how do you do that in a safe way? And there was a lot of governance announcements as well this week as well.
Yeah, well, of course, governance is so important in creating a safe space to do all of these things. We make mistakes as humans. AI makes mistakes. And so we need, both humans and AI both need a safe space to do create functionality. And you're talking about like people, business users wanting to create agents, but of course, this being a developer conference, of course, there's a lot of developers here, and there's a lot of interest in Copilot Studio from them as well. We had an open hack, and that had both the Foundry, also Copilot Studio offering, and a lot of people were taking up the challenge in Copilot Studio rather than going off into doing the Foundry.
Yeah, and that was neat. So one of the labs that I had a chance to help you and assist you on was around Copilot Studio, and you're connecting it to tools and you're connecting it to via VS Code and stuff like that. And so it was interesting because we had people coming to that lab that had never opened Visual Studio, right? And so they were seeing sort of, hey, this is where, hey, if you can't do it in Copilot Studio, there is sort of a way to go beyond. It's not just a limiting factor. It is a collaboration. And then you had developers that were in there that were saying, okay, is this how you would deploy it? Like, I would deploy it differently. And so that was neat. And I appreciate you doing labs like that for people to learn from both directions.
Yeah, and I think that's really the key of advocacy inside Microsoft, because cloud advocacy, my team, it's about trying to take all of the cool tech that has been built by PMs and engineering, and then figuring out was like exactly how is this actually going to work?
Yeah.
You know, back in the office, what are we going to do with this? And actually, compared to last year, that's probably the biggest difference. Is that last year there was very much of a lot of talk about AI and sort of just musing over it a little bit. But now it's very much like, okay, well, what are we going to do? How are we going to provide business value with this? And that's what we had some great conversations in labs about. So, and thank you so much for proctoring as well.
Yeah, happy to help. Yeah. So Scott, one of the things that I was excited about the labs is just the amount of people that were coming to the labs and that were interested in engaging. With,
Hey guys, sorry.
Oh,
okay.
I guess that's a cue to start wrapping up.
Yeah, I guess that's wrap. So let's go ahead and wrap up. So Scott, build's over apparently because they're taking everything off. How do people connect with this community afterwards?
That's a very good question. We've actually announced the Agent Creators Community. So if you go to AKAMS /Agent Creators Community, you can find a load of resources on what to do next, how to build agents, how to learn. We've got, for advocacy, we've built a load of resources. You can go there and you can join the Power Up program. You can connect with other creators, join the forums. There's a whole raft of really cool resources to check out.
Well, that's great. No, I appreciate the time, Scott. And before they pick us up on this couch, we probably should head out.
Yeah.
So
thanks so much, Seth.
we'll see
Really
you
been
soon,
great
yeah?
seeing you.